I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to study to pass a CLEP. Because if you're on Lumera, you've probably taken a CLEP at some point, and I personally have taken and passed 17 CLEPs, so I feel somewhat qualified to talk about this. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my 100% successful method. Of course, everyone learns a little differently, so do what's right for you and what helps you learn, but hopefully I can give you guys some pointers or tips or things to look out for when you're studying to help you pass that CLEP. First of all, choosing your CLEP. When you're choosing your CLEP, you want to try to choose it in an area that you already know at least something about. That way you're not starting from scratch. I usually get my books off of Amazon because they have pretty good prices, and you can find the books that come with the digital test code in them. That code has saved my life so many times because it gives me access to a CLEP study center with a diagnostic test and 2 full-length practice tests. If at all possible, try to get the textbook with the code in it. Before you start studying, you want to go to the CLEP College World website and look at the percentage breakdown of the material that will be covered in the test. Most CLEPs cover a pretty broad category, so finding out exactly where you need to focus your study time is invaluable. Also, it's important to know what percentage you need to get to pass. For example, some tests are as low as 55% and some are even up to 65%. This is good to know because when you're taking the practice tests, you want to shoot for a score that's 5 to 10% higher than the one that you're going to need to pass. The last thing you want to do before studying is take the diagnostic test. This is just like a mini test that gives you an idea of where you stand and how much you already know about the material. When you take the diagnostic test, you can see if there's some things that you might already know, and if there's some things that you really need to work on. Okay, now it's time to study. When you're studying a CLEP book, you want to start by deciding how much you're going to read per day. For example, if there's 8 chapters, I might decide to read 2 chapters a day, and then I'll be done reading the textbook in 4 days. Most CLEP books aren't very long, but they do pack a lot of information into a small amount of text, which is why it is super important to be focused when you're reading them and make the most out of every single paragraph. That's why I study with a highlighter and pens, helps me mark words that I don't know, phrases I think might come up in the test, topics I think are interesting, and it helps keep my brain involved by keeping my hands moving and involved with the text. Plus, highlighting is super fun, so win-win. As you're studying the CLEP, you might come across a lot of words or terms that you don't know, which is why I use Quizlet, which is a website that allows you to make your own flashcard sets and access ones that other people have made for the very same test that you are taking. Also, Quizlet has a mobile app, which I love to take with me when I'm studying on the go. I usually make a flashcard for every word or term that's in bold in the CLEP book, or any term that I don't know the meaning of. Then I study the flashcard test until I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of what all the terms mean. Once you've finished reading the textbook and doing the flashcards, then you're ready to take your first practice test. The first practice test is always going to feel a little rough, so try to get it over with as quickly as possible, and then when you're done, make sure to go back and do a detailed review of the answers you got right and wrong. The great thing about the CLEP Study Center is it will give you a breakdown in the test of what your strong, medium, and weak areas are. The strong areas you know, great job. Now you just need to go back and review the medium and weak areas. Brush them up and then hop right back in to take the second practice test. Again, when you get to the end, make sure to do a detailed review of all the right and wrong answers and take notes on them. And again, make sure that your passing score is close to the score that you're going to need to pass the actual test. But keep in mind that oftentimes the actual test is easier than the practice tests, at least in my experience. One final thing that you might want to do is go back and retake the diagnostic test. That's the test that you took in the beginning when you didn't know anything. I like doing this because I get to see the jump in the score and see how far I've come, which can be super encouraging and also show me just how much I've retained of what I've studied. If by this time you feel pretty confident in the material, you're ready to go ahead and take the real thing, which leads to my final tip, scheduling your test in advance. If you wait until you feel ready to schedule your test, you're going to have to fight the temptation to put it off and put it off and put it off. So that's why it can be really helpful to schedule your test in advance. That way it gives you a deadline to push forward. It can be incredibly motivating and help you get more done than you ever thought you would. When you're going in to take your test, try to be well rested, focused, and try not to go in thirsty or on an empty stomach because that can be distracting. Make sure you're wearing something really comfortable and bring a sweater with you in case it gets cold. Study with focus and prepare well, and you should be ready to go ahead and pass that CLEP with flying colors. One last thing, if you ever find yourself struggling in a certain area, there's a lot of places you can reach out to for help. Drop a post in the Facebook page asking for tips, or check out the forums. Also, YouTube can be a great resource. Anything you're having trouble with, I guarantee you there's a YouTube video of someone explaining it very simply. Just make sure you don't get sucked into the YouTube vortex. I hope you guys found this helpful, and I wish you guys the greatest of luck on all your CLEPing adventures. Have a great week, and don't let your Monday be mundane.